Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on the Real Housewives of Miami. Okay, so yes, I know I'm behind a couple of episodes, but we're here to catch up, okay? And, I feel like we should start with Adriana, because it's on top of my head. I might owe Adriana a bit of an apology. So y'all remember when Kiki said, "You are too old to be talking to people like that." I just didn't think that was a big deal. Like, she was really upset by that. She was really like, that crushed her. Like, that really bothered her. And as much as I love Adriana, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I just really did not. Not only with Adriana, a couple years ago, I think it was Oprah and Gail, they were saying how they don't like to be called auntie by people that are not their nieces or whatever. And I thought that that was also very ridiculous. Like, you don't want to be called auntie? What's the big deal about being called auntie? I've been an auntie since I was 11 years old. Like, I didn't really see the big deal. My little brother was born an uncle. I have an uncle that's like a year older than me. Like, I didn't get it. I did not get it. But you see, one thing about life will come at you real fast, okay? Because while I was sitting there not giving a damn about those people's hurt feelings, life came at me real fast. Somebody called me something the other day, and I'm not going to dare repeat it because I just haven't even come to terms that they called me this. I can't even repeat it. It's a cultural thing. And it wasn't rude, but it was kind of rude to me because I was just like, huh? You think, huh? Your life came at me real fast. I was called something that I just could not. I was just like, I was clutching my imaginary pearls. Like, I was just like, why would they call me that? And then I understood in that moment how Adriana must have felt when Kiki called her old. I understood why some of the older ladies in society don't want to be called auntie. I suddenly understood it. I got that. I felt their pain in that moment. So moving forward, yeah, I'm going to be looking at people in life and their hang-ups a lot differently moving forward. Yes, like, child. I can't even repeat what was said. I cannot. Yeah. Anyways, so Larsa and Lisa make up, and I promise I really don't care. I'm gonna tell y'all why I don't care. I don't care because I feel like Larsa plays too many games with her friendships, and I don't like it. She views Lisa as beneath her, as dumber than her, as someone she can kind of toy with. And so the fact that Lisa hurt your feelings, I promise I don't care. I don't care. The whole paparazzi thing, calling the paparazzi on Marcus, allegation. This is the thing. If Lisa feels that you could have done that, it's because you've done something in her presence that makes her feel that you're capable of doing so. So do I feel bad that she said that? I don't care. You've shown her that it's in your character that you would do something like that. If given the opportunity, you would do it. That's why she felt like you might have done it. I do want to say this. If you was with Marcus, 2 years? I don't remember. But you was with Marcus for a little bit. You mean to tell me you didn't know he played in the snow? You didn't know that? You don't know he be skiing? Why are we talking about Marcus Jordan? Why? He has not made one appearance on this season, and we're talking about him. We can thank Larsa for that. But yeah. So I also wanted to say, Larsa is a dangerous woman. She's got all these women thinking that Lisa's boyfriend, Jody, is just attacking her, texting her phone nonstop. And she failed to mention that she initiated the text first, that she started talking to him first. She started texting him and saying crazy things to him. But you got everyone thinking that out the blue, he's just started texting you and bombarding you with communications that you didn't want, that you didn't ask for. And let's not forget how she tried to let all those girls, like, she tried to get them to think that he was on drugs and he was raging. Did y'all forget that part earlier in the season when she was passing around pictures of his eyes? Larsa is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous woman. You men out there, y'all be careful. I'm just saying. Very dangerous woman. Okay, so Stephanie and Alexia's conversation. I kind of feel like Alexia threw Marsal under the bus a little bit. I do. Do I really care? Not really, because I do feel like Marisol, she starts a lot of mess and Alexia always gets blamed for it. But it's because Alexia takes things too far. It's because Alexia don't know how to play the game. Like, she just talks and she doesn't really think that well, whereas Marisol is a little smarter than her. But I mean, I guess, like, I really didn't care because I don't feel like them skipping the jet ride was that big of a deal. Stephanie, you indeed said that you would leave these women stranded if they pissed you off. If they did anything you didn't like, you were going to leave them stranded. You said that a couple of times. And I didn't like how Stephanie tried to flip it and make it seem as if Alexia didn't want Lisa on the plane, when you were trying to come up with a seating arrangement that stuck Lisa to sit in the corner by herself in the back of the plane. That's what you were trying to do. You were trying to do that. You've come in this group, and somewhere along the line, I don't know if it's Larsa or production, or if this is just your idea in your own head, but somewhere along the line, you have convinced yourself that your wealth puts you in charge of the girls. You could tell them what to do and how to do because you're wealthy. And the thing about it is, this is a group of women that are all wealthy. They don't give a damn about what you got and what you don't got. You're not the first rich bitch that they've met. Like, be all the way for real. Be serious. You thought coming on here with your jet was going to impress everyone. And everybody's kind of like, Ain't none of them women struggling? Ain't none of them struggling. They all have access to something great. Like, they're all doing good. They've all lived nice. They've experienced the nice life. You're acting like it's new to you. You're acting like it's foreign to you. It's like you can't flex a plane if someone can't even go in there and do their business. And it's weird. It's very weird. You're very weird. You're very, very weird. I'm annoyed that she keeps saying that, oh, well, they don't like my delivery because I'm used to speaking to powerful men and I'm in a male-dominated industry. Girl, it don't got nothing to do with any of that. You came in this group thinking because you were rich and who you were married to that you can come in here and tell these women something and they were going to care about what you're talking about. And I don't know if production set you up for failure like that, or if it was Larsa that set you up for failure, or if it was just your own delusions that set you up for failure. But girl, you're failing. Nobody cares that you have a jet. Nicole had a jet and she didn't act like this. Nicole had a jet and she was never this obnoxious. Girl, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. Julia might care. Even Julia, like, girl, Julia's a whole different type of somebody. But anyways, yeah, I don't really see it for Stephanie. And then it's just kind of, the way she's moving, it really feels like she's being coached. And she's prepared all this stuff. And then when she gets in front of these ladies, she's saying things that don't make sense. Like, oh, I thought you were my safe space. Safe space for what? What do you need a safe space for? If being in this group of women and they're arguing is too much of you, girl, you can go. We don't need you here. Nobody asked for you. Bring back Nicole. We don't want you no way. Like, I don't know. Like, she just doesn't make sense to me. She doesn't make sense. And it's like, I got my eye on Larsa and I got my eye on production. Because it's just like you just keep doing weird things. Like, she posted herself going to a drag show and was like, oh, you guys think I can't be fun? I can be fun. Girl, nobody's thinking about you. She keeps saying Marisol is after her. And I was like, Marisol's not thinking about you, girl. None of these women are thinking about you. This has Larsa in production written all over it. Like, if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. But I'm just saying. Like, I just don't feel like you're this... Maybe you are. Maybe you are this obnoxious and that's why your sisters don't like you. Child, I don't know, but I'm over her. So can we talk about Gertie's therapy session? As you guys know, Gertie has a lot of triggers and a lot of childhood trauma. And Her husband is like, we gotta get some help for this. Her husband, her man been with her for a long time, and he loves her, and he really loves his Gertie. But baby, he was like, we gotta deal with this, and I'm not mad at him for that. So Gertie speaking on her name trauma and how she uses her middle name because when she first came here, people made fun of her name so bad they refused to pronounce it the right way. Child, now that struck a nerve. That struck a nerve. My parents are African, West African immigrants, okay? My name actually is not even an African name, it's an Indian name. But a lot of African people have it. Well, a lot of people from where my mom and dad are from have my name. And it's a family name. It's people in my family who have this name. My aunt and my great aunt have the same name. I'm named after them. It's a special name to my dad and to my dad's side of the family. But when you are a 7-year-old in Houston, Texas, in A-Leaf to be exact, baby, they don't care nothing about none of that. Okay, when I say I got teased so bad for my Indian African name, child. I'm smiling and laughing now, but it was nothing funny about it at the time. Like, I went through hell. Like, I went, child, some things happened because of people teasing me about my name. Like, it wasn't funny to me at all. It was not. I got into so many physical altercations because of it. Like, it was never funny to me. It was not funny to me. I got teased so badly because of my name and because of being a little African girl. And it's like, I'm born and raised in Texas. Like, why y'all treating me like this? Baby, I went through it. Do you hear me? So when she was like speaking about her name, I know to some people that might seem like no big deal, but trust me, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I used to beg my parents, like I would come home and beg them, please change my name. Please change my name. Change my name. And they'd be like, girl, no, we're not changing your name. What are you talking about? And when I tell you, like, the trauma is real for me. It really, really is. Because my mom has a regular name. My dad had a regular name. Like, on paper, my mom, you would think is a white woman. My dad, you wouldn't know what he was. You probably think he's French or something. You wouldn't know what he is. On paper, you would never know that they were African. You wouldn't assume that they are African on paper. But me, first, middle, and last name is different. And so I used to beg them, like, please give me a different name. Like, please. Like, literally. And my mom was like, well, when you turn 18, you could change your name. You mean I got to go through this some more? I got to go through this for like 10 more years? 11 more years? Oh, it's not funny. When people were making fun of Escala from Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all, I used to look at some of y'all. Some of y'all are my mutuals. Some of y'all are my peoples, and I love y'all. But I used to side eye y'all. I don't like when people make fun of somebody's actual name. Like, y'all know I'll be making fun of folks. I'll be calling people, you know, the bird lady and stuff like that. But when it comes down to making fun of people's names, I'll be like, come on now. Like, remember, was it Siggy from Jersey when they was calling her Soggy Siggy? I was laughing at it. But then when she said how people used to make fun of her name, I stopped doing it because I was like, oh shit, girl, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. So yes, Gertie girl, you struck a nerve with me. You struck a nerve. Like, I hated my name. First day of school, or when we had a substitute teacher, and they would be like, oh my God, I'm gonna need help with this name. I already knew they was talking about me. As soon as they got to the S's, I was like, oh, they coming for me. I already know. You already know who's next to you, right? So you already know they about to say my name. It'll either be some type of disclaimer that they about to F it up, or they would just F it up. Call me. Like, pronounce letters that's not even in my name. The other day, I was summoned for jury duty. And we made it all the way to the little tunnel where they were giving us the juror cards with our numbers on it. And he was struggling with the names, and I was just waiting in anticipation. I was like, I know he about to jam my name up. I already know. I was waiting for it. And He didn't even attempt to say my first name. He said my last name, butchered it. 6 letters, 2 syllables. I don't know how, like, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. But when I tell you, when Gertie said how they used to make fun of her name, yeah, I went through K through 12 allowing people to mispronounce my name. And I just was like, whatever. Like, I remember the first day, I still remember the first day in kindergarten. And my teacher just could not pronounce it right. And she had whatever pronunciation she went with, I just said, okay, I'll take it. And the funny thing is, I switched districts and they all pronounce. I was like, you got it. You want to pronounce it that way? Fine. But shout out to Faith Evans. I met Faith Evans years ago when she was on tour. Years and years and years ago, I met Faith Evans and she was signing my autograph and she was like, oh, you have a pretty name. And I was like, and I love her since that day. Well, I've always loved her, but I really, really loved her ever since then. And she was Gemini. Now let's switch over to Kiki. Her inviting her dad to come see her, you know, do a photo shoot. That was nice to see. Like, that was really nice. What person doesn't want their parents to be proud of them? You know, like when I do a little something, something, I'm calling my aunt and uncles and be like, look, I did this or this happened, you know, like you want your parents to be proud of you. Like when my parents were here, I wanted them to be proud of me. You know, my parents were proud of me for no reason. Like, okay, I don't want to get sad. We're not going to talk about them. Sorry. I get it. I get it. It's like whenever she's around her dad, it's like the little girl in her, she resorts to the little girl in her. And it was like, see, Dad, look what I do. You know, see, look at what I'm doing. Isn't this amazing or whatever? She really wants her dad to acknowledge that, you know, he hurt her. You made her have to face the world way too early in life. And even though she turned out to be successful and she got to chase her dreams and live her dreams, it doesn't take away from when she was a young girl and she needed to be guided and protected. You left her out there to fend for herself, and that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. I don't know if we've ever talked about that, but that wasn't cool. Okay, Dad, you shouldn't have done that to that girl. That wasn't okay. Like, you don't do that. I mean, I don't know. Now, Kiki girl, this is not funny. But y'all remember a couple episodes ago, Kiki said that she was being threatened by certain family members wanting her to bring them to America and them thinking that she was so rich and famous and she could bring all of them over. And when she wasn't able to bring everybody over, they started threatening her. Now, me, I would have cussed y'all smooth the hell out. I would just... Anyways, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't do that. Never mind. I just thought of something. Maybe you shouldn't do that. You got your daddy to handle it, and that's what he needed to do. I'm just going to leave that there. But, like, are you kidding me? Are you really? I can see how that is very stressful. I can see how that's very stressful, and I'm just going to leave it there. But, wow. I want to say something, but I'm not going to say it. But I will say this, though. Kiki, how you going to let your daddy take a picture of you in front of a jet and say, tell them this is my jet, but you don't want them to think that you're super rich and successful? That's what they seeing, thinking that you got it. They thinking you got it better than what you got. And even if you did have it like that, you're not entitled, or they're not entitled to you giving everything you got to them. But I just didn't think that was a wise idea. Like, he shouldn't post. Anyways, let me shut up. Kiki girl, you look beautiful. So, when it comes to Julia and Martina, why do I feel like we've been bamboozled? I feel like she got one over on us. So, y'all correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I was under the impression that Julia's daughters wanted to go live with their fathers because they were, you know, they were getting older. They were feeling smothered by Julia. And they just wanted to, you know, go out and see what Europe and wherever had to offer. Ain't that what they told us? Now I'm starting to feel as though there were problems in the home and that's why they left. I'm starting to feel like Martina, I think they were bumping heads with Martina. The energy in the house wasn't giving what they needed it to give, and they said, you know what, we're gonna go to our dads. That's what I think happened. I don't trust Julia and Martina anymore. I feel like they've been lying to us. I think that there was something more going on, and how we gonna know? They're not gonna come and tell us, so we have to take what they said. The way that Martina is speaking about them, like she's being real dismissive. I don't like how she's talking. I don't like how she's talking. It's rubbing me all the way wrong. And I'm just seeing her in a different light. I'm seeing her very different. I don't trust Martina, and I don't trust Julia. I think that things weren't that great in the house, and that's why the girls left. And I feel like Martina wanted those boys. I always felt like Julia wanted the kids because she felt like the house was empty. But it's starting to look like they decided to get new kids because their other kids left them. That's what it's looking like. They were replacement kids. And that's why they weren't happy when you adopted them. And Martina very much gives like, oh, I don't need y'all. I'll just have my own kids. Because they not my kids no way. Like that Martina, I liked you. You had me fooled. You almost got me. You almost got me, but I'm starting to see another side of you, Martina, and I don't like it. I think that that's probably what happened. Y'all were probably going through it in that house. Some kids decided to leave. They'd rather be with their dad than be in the house dealing with y'all. And y'all said, bet, we'll get other kids. Well, maybe not so much Julia, but Martina was like, bet, we'll have other kids. That'll show them. And Julia, you caught in the middle because you love your girls, but you love your wife and you love the life that your wife gives you. The money. Let's not forget about the shmoney. And so you kind of just, yeah. And if that's the case, Julia, you're way more raggedy than I thought. So I owe Julia a bit of an apology because I thought for sure she had something to do with that math equation on Adriana's cake. And I was wrong. I'm sorry, Julia. I accused you wrong. I wrongfully accused you, Julia. It wasn't you. I apologize. That might be the only apology you'll ever get from me, but I apologize. I don't think I said that on here, but I damn sure was thinking it when I was watching the episode. I was like, she did that. It was her. It was you. It wasn't even her. It was Kiki the whole time. So about this cake and the math equation to put on the cake, I think that was corny, and I think it was mean-spirited. Let me tell y'all something. When somebody pisses me off, okay, and I read them and you feel bad, that was my intention. My intention was to gut you. My intention was to make you feel bad. My intention was to make you go lay down in the corner and cry and sulk about it. Because me personally, Kiki and I are birthday twins, okay? June 18, we're Geminis, okay? We can get evil when we mad, okay? Anyways, I just feel like by the time I say something mean to you, I gave you a lot of chances to correct your behavior. Like, you don't do something to me and then I immediately attack. Like, I'm going to give you a lot of chances to correct the behavior. But by the time I run out of patience and grace and I give you what I give you, I promise I don't care. There's not anything you can do to make me care. You can cry. I won't give a damn. I won't give a damn. And I just don't feel like Kiki and Adriana had that type of energy between them. Like Lisa and Kiki last season, when Kiki went off on Lisa, I felt that was warranted because I felt like Lisa was being obnoxious. She was being annoying. She was being selfish. She was being bratty. I felt Kiki when she went off on her. Even though, I must admit, I felt like Kiki took out her frustration with the entire group out on Lisa. Because when she was like, oh, you don't even know my kid's name. You don't know nothing that's going on with me. None of them do. The only person that I feel like Larsa probably checks in on Kiki a little bit, and Gertie, but them girls didn't care about you like that. I don't think any of those girls really cared about Kiki and be checking in and to make sure she's good. Like, I think they do the niceties and be like, hey girl, how you doing, girl? The kid's good. Okay, girl, bye. They give you the fake, you know? But it don't be for real. It don't be for real. And I felt like she's been feeling that way, but she took it out on Lisa. But still, it made sense. When she popped off on Lisa last season, that made sense to me. But with Adriana, I didn't feel like it was that deep. I mean, telling somebody you're too old, I don't know. Because they know each other for real. They work with each other for real. There's a lot of things we don't see. So I do like to keep that in mind. But honestly, I didn't think that her telling Adriana you're too old was that deep of a cut. But clearly it was. Like, she hit a major artery with Adriana. Like, the lady has not stopped bleeding since she said to her, you are too old. She didn't hear anything else after she said old. I think that's like echoing in Adriana's ears. And honestly, as a Gemini, she my birthday twin. If she think like I think, when you read a bitch, you want that to have that effect. You want the person to feel the read. You do. If I'm going to take my time to say anything to you, I want you to feel what I'm saying. Okay? And I think, I don't know. On one hand, Kiki is saying that her intention wasn't to hurt Adriana, but girl, once you saw how badly she was hurt by you saying you're too old, you should have just, when y'all made up, you should have just left it at that. Okay? But you didn't. For you to put that on that cake, that was nasty work. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. The girl's already, you done already brought her down to her knees. Then you want to kick her? Girl, I don't know. Yeah. I did want to say this. As far as the ratchet versus wretched. Okay. Initially, when Adriana said ratchet, I did think like, damn girl, you didn't need to say that. You didn't need to use that word. But at the same time, I'm kind of annoyed with Kiki, so I really didn't care that much. But I did feel like, girl, don't say that, because I don't want nobody calling me ratchet. Because when I think ratchet, I think ghetto times 10. That's what I think. Like, when I see the word ratchet, like, if you call me ratchet, I will indeed be offended. Like, I'm going to have to insult your mother. Like, don't call me ratchet. Ew. Like, when it first started being used, it wasn't that bad. But then it took on a really negative connotation, and I'm just not here for it. Don't call me ratchet. So I would have been annoyed too, right? But I kind of feel like, to me, Kiki a little fake. Because I feel like if Alexia or Larsa would have called her ratchet, would you have had the same reaction? I don't believe you would have. I don't think you would have let that roll off your back. Like, girl. But I don't think you would have gotten as angry. But because it came from Adriana, you decided to turn up. Because you know her position in the group is not, you know, she ain't up there, okay? She ain't up there, even though I think she's amazing. But yeah. I feel like Marisol Slick called you a man the other day on the last, what was the last episode? She called you a man. She said, show me that schmeat. Marisol called you a man. She said you had a ding dong. And you just let that roll right off. You just laughed at it and kept going. I feel like those ladies take shots at you all the time and you don't never had no reaction. So the way that you turned up on Adriana, I felt like it was the most. I felt like it was extra. I felt like it was unwarranted and was not needed. When I watched the after show and Adriana addressed the whole ratchet versus wretched thing again. And initially when Adriana said I meant wretched, not ratchet, but my accents made it sound like I was saying ratchet. Now, I'm just keep it real with y'all. I didn't know what wretched meant. I had always thought a wretch was like a destitute, but you know, down on your luck person, right? So when I Googled it and it said it was a miserable person, and that's also what Adriana was saying, well, I felt a little dumb. And so I had just assumed, you know, like, Girl, you lying. You meant to say ratchet. But then when Adriana showed her work, I kind of believe Adriana. Because this is the thing, right? She says that day, Kiki was walking around sad, moping and just feeling sorry for herself because she was upset that she wasn't with the other girls. She was with Lisa, Adriana, and Gertie. She was with the outcasts. She wanted to be with the popping girls, the popular girls. And she wasn't with them, so she felt the way. I believe that. I do believe her when she says that, because if y'all have been paying attention, when they had the yachts, remember when they did the 2 yachts? Larsa had a yacht, Kiki had a yacht. Kiki had the same people. Larsa had all the popping girls. Kiki was stuck with the girls that everybody didn't like. Then y'all had the private jet situation. She wasn't invited onto the private jet to go to Spain. Then y'all have this little outing, and again, she's not with the popping girls. And then I think it was last episode when they went to dinner on the cruise and it was separate groups. Again, she wasn't with Alexia and Marisol. She felt away. Even though she had Larsa with her, she still felt away. So I can believe Adriana when she says that, yeah, Kiki was being a sourpuss the whole day. She was just feeling whatever. So that's why she said, stop being a wretched, because you were being miserable. It kind of makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. It does. It makes a little bit of sense. I hate to say it. And like I said, I feel like if Alexia or Marisol said that to Kiki, it would have been a different result. It wouldn't have been all of what she made it. So, girl. I will say this. Adriana, you my girl, but you showed your behind at this event. You look crazy, girl. You look crazy. I don't know. This is a mess. I just feel like production or somebody must have tapped Adriana on her shoulder and said, hey, girl, the reason why Kiki was so offended is because what you said to her was a microaggression. It came off a little racist, and you don't want to look like that. And I love you, Adriana, but you did what racists tend to do. Like, you went and got your black friend to show up to be like, see, I got a black friend and she don't think what I said was racist. Girl, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. That wasn't a good look, girl. At the end of the day, as much as Kiki getting on my nerves, if you say something that offends her, you can't just go find another black person to say, hey, was this offensive? Just because it didn't offend her don't mean it didn't offend Kiki. Like, you can't do that now. You can't do that. I didn't really like that, Adriana. I love you. I love you down to the ground, girl. I love you down to the ground. But you can't do that. That's not, that don't work for me, sis. I don't like that. You just can't. Like me, I say bitch all the time. I'll be like, bitch, bitch. But if a man came around me saying bitch, I'm gonna be like, if a straight man came around me saying bitch, I ain't gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it at all. I'm not gonna like it at all. Recently, I'm not gonna say who, an older person said, cause my bitch. And I was totally disgusted. I was just like, oh my God, how dare you speak like that about women? Like, I was so disgusted. The girl that says bitch every other word, I just felt like, ugh, that was just so, ugh. It just made me look down on him like, ew, like, why would you say that, my bitch? Because my bitch, I was just like, ugh. I'll never see him the same. I'll never see him the same. I just never will. I never will. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But, yeah, back to what I was going to say. Just because it didn't offend your one black friend doesn't mean it didn't offend the other black friend. Like, that don't go, sis. You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm going to need you not to do that. I'm going to need you not to do that. I didn't like that, Adriana. But I really do feel bad for her because I feel like, girl, you taking a lot of hits. And maybe you're just like reacting to that. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can't defend that though. I defended you up until that, because I do think that Kiki's full of shit. If Marisol or Alexia would have called her ratchet, she would have laughed it off. Marisol said you had. She said you had a penis, girl. You weren't offended by that. I guess. Yeah. That's really all I got to say. Actually, I could say so much more. But yeah. Ciao. I'll see you next week.